Hey guys, it's Electric here, and welcome back to another video. I am not lying, this is my 6th attempt of making this video. The goal of this video is to show off one of my favorite decks I use, but for some reason every single time I go to the deck and talk, it glitches out my voice for some reason. I have no clue why. I tried many things, that's why it took 6 attempts, so I'm just doing a new thing where I'm gonna talk, show, then talk. I'm gonna say the purpose of the deck. I'm going to show you the cards. I'm going to tell you why I have those cards, and I'm pretty sure that'll be it. Um, Basically, the reason why I'm showing my deck off is because I just battled against a guy. I'm going to try my best to pronounce his YouTube name at least. His name is different on this game. Um, his name is based off of a Pokemon, and the thing is, I use this Pokemon in my party. Ludicolo? I have no idea how to pronounce his name. I probably should search that up after this video. Um, he'll tell me if I got it spot on or I absolutely failed to make a fool of myself. Um, Basically, me and him battled. I pulled out the Abracadabra, and he messaged me, "Why do you have that in your deck?" Because I'm not gonna lie, he sucks, and he has feelings towards him as well because he also thinks he sucks. Um, and I do agree he sucks. There's a lot of suck in this video. Um, Basically, there is a purpose to him, and you'll see later on. But first, I'm going to name the 3 purposes of my deck, and you might see it when I show you the cards. Purpose number 1: to waste the other player's cards. Basically, during the first couple rounds, I don't really place a lot of things. And if I do, it's to distract or block or like a trick or something like that. But other than that, I don't place a lot of cards at the beginning. That's so they waste their cards by placing down a crap ton of plants to damage me for low damage, though. And by the time I have the cards I need, I place them down. Their main focus is now that zombie, while I peck away at their other plants, and they continue placing and buffing them as I continue focusing on the guy I just put down while pecking away at their other plants, making them not having a lot of cards left while I still have a lot. And I know that might not make sense when I say it, but when I use the deck, it makes sense for me. Number 2, my deck is a grow deck. My main goal is to make my zombies more powerful, have more health, more attack, and stuff like that. Um, which which goes in the hand with what I just said, the distraction. I place on the main guy that, does something like give himself attack every round, or does something like when you place a zombie, he gains 1/1 attack and health. And now their focus is on, alright, we need to kill that guy, while really, that's either distraction or you're keeping that guy alive while picking away at their other plants. My third thing to do is long rounds. I try my best to keep the rounds as long as possible until either one of us wins. And that goes in hand with the not a lot of cards, because if the rounds get long, chances are you're not going to have that many cards left because you just spewed them across the lanes. And I have some cards and I have a strategy, well, at least I think it's a strategy, when it comes to late game. And you will see that right now. I'm going to go silent because for some reason it glitches out my voice. I'm going to show you the cards and we're going to come back to this screen and I'll explain why I have those cards. Alright, so let me explain now. The reason why I had those cards, as you saw a lot of guys that either gives health and attack to others, or gives health and attacks when you do something, or gives health and attack just by themselves. Like for instance, you saw immediately I had 3 party zombies because they're very useful. They're basically kind of like the muscle sprout, except they don't have that much attack and health yet, but they're cheaper, meaning you can put them down faster and you can place more once you place him. Um, and he's one of my favorite guys to use in that deck for a growth deck. And you saw I had like acrobatics, newspaper zombie, basically just stuff like that. That when something happens to them, or when you do something, or when you just don't do anything at all, it makes them grow. Like for instance, if I put down a Robux trainer, your main focus is immediately to kill that, and while their focus is on to kill that, I'm killing their other plants. Like for instance, you saw I had the chickening. That probably wipes out a lot of their plants since they're placing stuff immediately on the first couple of rounds, which only has like 1 to 2 health. Um, and now I'm gonna explain why I have the abracadabra. Usually when you place down your main guys, you place them down on the like immediately the first or second or third lane because you want them to do the first damage. You want them to do as much damage as fast as possible. Yet again, I'm not that type of guy. Even though I have a growth deck, my goal is to make it last as long as possible in a way, technically. I mean, rounds can go pretty fast if I get lucky. Um, Basically, I leave the first lane open, which is the area where you attack first, and whenever I have like a main guy out that I want to keep alive, like something like the party guy or the aerobics, I put down the abracadabra. And the reason why is because, yeah, again, remember, their main focus is to kill that one guy, kill the. I'm almost done. Shush. The aerobics trainer or the party zombie or the overstuffed zombie. Their focus is kill that. So they'll play stuff that does a lot of attack but doesn't have that much health or like has team up, something like that. And base or might do like the double attack thing, like something like the repeater, or like they might put down the pea shooter with a torchwood, something like that, which is can be annoying at times because you're like, oh, I just placed him and he's really strong now, but that's gonna kill him. That's why I leave the first lane open to put down that guy, because their main focus is on that guy, so they're not gonna put a plant in front of that gravestone most of the time. Basically, what happens is he gets revealed, he does damage, and if you're lucky, because of course he attacks at random plants, so hopefully he doesn't attack something that's in like lane 3 or the aquatic lane, unless if there's something bad in those lanes. You get my point. He will attack the guy that's about to kill your main guy, which is useful, which is very useful. That's the only reason why I have him, though. That's why I only put one guy there in my deck. And as you saw, I had stuff like the kangaroo, because if he gets damaged and doesn't die, he goes back in your deck. Very useful for the party zombie. I had the fireworks, which does damage to all of your guys, meaning like stuff like the newspaper or like stuff like the jester. That's very useful. Their attack goes up, or like the jester does 2 damage to the hero, which is very useful. And time for the late game stuff. As you saw at the very bottom, I had some stuff that was pretty costly, and that's for the late game. That's my strategy for a late game, to place big things. I save those guys for when it comes down to there isn't a lot of plants on the field. As you saw, I have 2 Gargantuars. The Pirate Gargantuar. The reason why is because if he gets hurt, he throws out Imp, which is a new zombie, which it adds 1/1 to my party zombie. This deck is mainly focused around them, but that's only because they're awesome. And the Doctor Gargantuar or the Nurse I forget what it's called. You know what I mean. Because basically, when you get to the late rounds, most likely you and the other person doesn't have that much health. So having a guy that heals you and does a lot of damage and has a lot of health is very useful. That's why I have him. And of course I have the locusts, destroying annoying plants, very useful, don't need to explain that. As you saw, I have 2 legendary cards in there. The Octo Zombie, yet again for late rounds, because basically what they will do is place plants in front of your main attackers to block the hits. Well, if you have something that has high health and high damage and has frenzy, yeah, that's a bad thing. And the thing is, he has afterlife, meaning if they kill him, I get him back, I can place him down again, which adds another 1/1 to a party zombie if they're still alive. And last but not least, Gargantuar's Feast. Yeah, again, my plan is to make it to the late rounds, meaning there isn't a lot of plants or zombies on the field. And then and then during the trick phase where they already put down their plant, they already did what they did, I play the 3 Gargantuars. And basically, most of the time at that point, I pretty much win the game, unless if they did something like espresso beans or something like that. That's basically it. For the deck. I'm gonna go into it, show you all the cards I then put in. Maybe if you have like any advice or any suggestions, I might keep that in mind. Like something like, oh, you should put this in the deck instead of this. I'll see if I should do that and stuff. So I'm gonna show you my deck. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you the cards I didn't add, and then that'll be it. Alright, and that's it. I'm sorry if I explained too much, but I think I should explain the purpose of my deck and why I have these cards. I think I don't really like seeing YouTubers that only show the cards and doesn't explain why they have them or what they're used for, but sorry if I explained too much. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to see more of my decks, because I have more strategies for cards like Rust Bolt, Super Brains, the Smash, stuff like that, so let me know if you want to see them. And that's basically it. Let me, just let me know if you have any advice or something like that. Alright. Holy crap, 13 minutes. That went longer than I thought. Alright, see ya. Bye.